I am super excited to let us hear the story about Chad Erickson. Him and I have been working together for, I think it's a couple of years now, and he's made a tremendous shift in his life and his, success and career in the last year. And it's not exactly multifamily, but it's definitely moving in a direction that will take him down that path. And I think this is an awesome story, and I wanted to give him the chance to talk about it today. So, Chad, tell us a little bit about, well, introduce yourself like everybody else did, and then we'll just kind of get into your story a little bit. So, thanks again for being voluntold to do this today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Jens. Jens always likes to make me feel uncomfortable, so I'll I'm just kidding. I was a pool builder, contractor, second generation, and was operating a pool construction company, and then switched over to becoming a realtor full time about 11 months ago, almost a full year, and also working in multifamily investing.
Yeah. So initially, when we started working together, what was the why behind pursuing a different career, pursuing multifamily and now residential real estate? What was the reason that you went down this path?
I think it just felt like I felt more meaningful, I think, becoming a realtor and helping people making large, like a big purchase. And I enjoyed building pools as well, but I don't know, I just felt like there was more purpose and meaning in taking this route. Plus, I also just felt like there was a better future in that business with a more opportunity to scale, and it's more in the direction I was wanting to go towards multifamily, and they all kind of just mixed together very well. Plus, I know the market really well. I have a construction background. I understand permitting and planning and zoning, so it's just a really good fit.
Yeah, I love that. And I remember, you started studying for your agent license, whatever test. Hang on. About, I think it was like around this time last year, right? You kind of started, and initially I was like, wow, that's interesting. But I also saw that kind of that commitment in you to, man, I'm going to get this done, right? So you were studying in the mornings and the evenings and the weekends and everything else, right? Was there a defining moment where you suddenly, man, I want to go this way? Was there any trigger or anything that just really made you start making, that made you take this avenue?
I remember us talking about it pretty clearly, because I wasn't really sure like if it was the right route to take, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And then it was like opportunity came up, and it was just good timing, so I just went for it. I kind of went all in, and I'm glad I did, because it all worked out way better than I could have imagined. So thanks to Jens, he kind of pushed me along, I'd say.
Now, I think last we spoke on our last coaching calls, you mentioned kind of the number you on track to close this year. Do you mind sharing what you think you're going to be able to close in 2021?
Well, I'll tell you my goal, which I'm working towards, but is 28 million. I'm pushing towards for 2021.
That actually just gave me goosebumps when I heard that. I mean, that's so incredible, and I keep saying so. Congratulations. What is there's real estate agents out there that they struggle. They don't really get off the ground. They sell a house here and there. What would you attribute your success to? I mean, how did you go from building pools to being on track to sell $28 million of real estate in a year? I mean, what is the mindset? What is the daily routine or daily routine you have in place to move towards this at such a rapid pace?
Well, it was kind of like a crash course, and it still is. Like every day I'm learning something new, in this journey, I guess. And luckily I have a, really great relationship with my broker, which is another reason why I took the leap. She's actually my mother-in-law. She's a local small local brokerage here in town. So I just jumped on with her, and I decided to focus on only buyers. So I don't work with sellers at all. I only work with buyers, and I just focus on them. And there's been a lot of different little things I've done as far as marketing and reaching out to buyers and getting referrals and things like that. But yeah, it's just been basically 7 days a week in the office, even when no one else is in there, because people will be walking by and I'll stop them and talk to them. Just a lot of like on the ground type work.
Be willing to do what nobody else wants to.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a daily kind of success routine or anything to do to kind of keep your mind on your goals and your path forward?
Well, yeah, so I have my morning routine, which is, I just wake up early, like everyone says, wake up early, write down the key things I need to get done that day. Write down, I practice gratitude. So I just write down what I'm grateful for. And then I also write down my goals that I'm working towards. And that's something I learned from you as well. And I also, have to try to go to the gym in the morning because I have a little daughter and a wife. So I have to make that time in the morning to get that out of the way. And then I go to work until I'm done. And then I go home.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah. Setting the right intention for a day. I love that. So Chad, where do you see this going? I mean, a huge goal of sales this year, right? Where's kind of like, if you think it's, a year or two into the future, where do you see this career going for you? Do you have any kind of longer term plan for it?
I definitely want to, I'll probably continue being a buyer's agent for maybe another 12 months. And then eventually once I, cause you have to be an agent for 2 years to become a broker. So eventually become a broker, and I'll stay in real estate, and then also be working in multifamily syndications once I get a little bit more time.
Perfect. I know you're working with Joss and Ben on a potential deal down in Mississippi, which seems to have stalled right now, but I mean, that's pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're getting close to that. And then we have that 11 unit that we're planning on selling or refining at the end of the year, which has been exciting too.
Yeah, Domel is not on the call here, but tell anybody a little bit about this deal and what kind of the challenge you've had along the way and how you think it may exit.
Yeah, so I partnered with Domel, who's also part of the group. We closed last October. It was direct to seller, and it had a lot of hair on it. It was in a good area, and we went in and completely renovated every unit, new roof, just completely updated it, completely restabilized it in about 6 months with new tenants. And it's doing great now. It's been a great property, and that's why we're looking to exit, because that market is one of the hottest in the country, and we're in a good market. So we're planning on selling, but we're still considering doing a refi too.
This is in Tampa, right? For people that are interested.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I think one of the key things that you guys really did right was getting rid of all the crappy tenants early on. Just get them out, take that cash flow hit for a few months, renovate the units, and then releasing it. Because if you have these kind of quote unquote bad apples in there that keep dragging out the performance of the property, you're never going to be able to be successful. So do you guys have any of the original tenants left in this deal?
We have 2.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Two out of the 11 that wanted to stay. We still fixed up one of their units because they asked for it, so we did it, and she stayed. But yeah, there were a few, a lot of visits from police, and a lot of tools and damage on the property, but we got through it.
And it's pretty stable now, and people are paying rent and all that.
Oh yeah, it's running great now.
That's awesome. Good job on turning that.
Yeah, I give that to Demel. He's been amazing to work with, and he's turned into a great friend. So I wish he was on the call tonight.
He was briefly, and he fell off again. So
Ah.
very cool. Well, back to the shift you made, kind of from one business to another. If you were to give anybody advice, on changing, having the courage to change from something they've been doing for a long time to go down a path that's a little new and unknown, what would you tell people? What would be kind of a golden nugget for people to use?
I don't know. That's tricky, I felt like it was right for me. So that's why I took the risk to do it. And like I don't know, I always get obsessed with things when I get into them. So I've been a little bit obsessed with this career change for the past 11 months. So I think if you're willing to, if you want to switch into something, you have to be willing to be obsessed with it, and then just kind of ride it out.
Yeah, be obsessed with it, and maybe also kind of not burn your bridges, but kind of let the other thing go and then jump 100% into it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
No, failure is not an option to some degree.
Hmm.
I love that. Um, if there's anybody on the call who has any questions for Chad, please go ahead and unmute yourself.